to This Day. It is Friday, September 16th. Now we have one meeting this afternoon that we wanted to tell you about, and you're going to want to RSVP directly to info@lagunawoodsvillage.com to participate. And this is for the third new resident orientation that will take place in the boardroom at 4:30 this afternoon. So if you'd like to participate, you want to go ahead and get that email in as soon as possible. On our show today, we have two ladies here. One is Latifa Taramina and Rebecca Gilad, who is here on behalf of two different organizations. One, of course, is the Concerned Citizens of Laguna Woods, and then one is called the Community Bridge Builders, and we're going to learn all about their collaboration for Peace Week, which happens next week. And then we talked to Doug Phillips, who is with RadNet, although he is a patient of RadNet, and we're going to hear about an operation that he had that was very successful. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our weather. Well, we certainly are looking at pleasant weather through our weekend. We are looking at 78, 68, partly sunny skies today, 77, 67, 76, 64, 76, 71 with a bit of humidity, and then mostly sunny on Tuesday with 83, 62. If you are traveling, take a look at these numbers. Our local beaches are 73, 65, San Diego 73, 66, Santa Barbara 70, 57, Palm Springs a nice 91, 68, Tahoe 60, 35, Big Bear 65, 35, and Mammoth 63, 30, and Las Vegas 92, 68. So pleasant temperatures all around. Our sunrise this morning was at 6:35, and our sunset will be at 6:56. Now our joke of the day, hopefully we get you laughing. What do you call a cow with two legs? Lean beef. And I have another really good one for you for tomorrow as well. So we just keep these jokes coming. All right, when we come back, we will learn about Concerned Citizens of Laguna Woods and Community Bridge Builders, so stick around.
Did you hear the big news? The FDA announced the over-the-counter hearing aid program. It's been 6 years in the making. And what does that mean to you if you wear hearing aids or if you're thinking about wearing hearing aids for the first time? Most people are asking themselves, what is an over-the-counter hearing aid? Would it work for me? Where do I get them to try? How much do they cost? For over 40 years, Advanced Ear Care has been helping answer questions just like this. Call us today and find out more. And remember, tell them Stuart sent you.
Welcome to Balbina's Mexican Restaurant. Stop by and experience the most authentic Mexican food in the region. We are serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have a very extensive Mexican wine list from Valle de Guadalupe and the center of Mexico. Visit us for breakfast and lunch from 8 in the morning to 2 p.m. and for dinner from 5 to 9 p.m. Stop by on Wednesdays and enjoy with half off on all of our wines.
Welcome back. As I mentioned, we have two ladies here from the Concerned Citizens of Laguna Woods and Community Bridge Builders. We have Rebecca and Latifa. Well, welcome both of you. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
And, it's an interesting collaboration that's come about. And I know there's a little bit of history behind that. But before we get into it, Latifa, tell me a little bit about yourself and how long you've lived here in the village.
I came in 2016 from Austin, Texas.
Okay.
It was time to retire, and my son was living in Santa Monica. And I thought, oh, this is good. And my son met the love of his life and moved to New Zealand.
Oh, heavens, doesn't it figure? Don't try and build your life around your children, I swear. They're going to up and leave before you know it. Good point, good point. And then how long have you been involved with Concerned Citizens? Same time frame?
Since he moved to New Zealand.
Well, yes, there's a lot going on with that, I'm sure. All right, and Rebecca, we've seen you on several different things, and of course, you have your own show, Did You Know? And then you also are part of a Community Bridge Builders here.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about that.
It's a new group. We're on the way to becoming a club, and it's really a community movement where we want to create a feel and a reality of living together no matter how different we seem to be. there is something always that can get us together. And there is so much much to learn from each other.
Yes.
That's what we're looking for.
I think that's great. There's been a lot of things that have happened over the past several years. We have isolation and depression, and COVID didn't really help with any of those things. If people were already suffering from that or didn't have it before, they're now experiencing those things now. So being able to do these types of things, I think, is great.
Yeah.
So Latifa, how did you find out about what Rebecca was doing?
Well, she invited me. I was involved in Peace Day since I came here, and had worked with concerned citizens about developing a community-wide involved connection to Peace Day. And that led to working with people about building bridges toward each other and working together and recognizing the value of all the different communities that live here. I lived abroad, and Rebecca has lived abroad, so I met her early on, and we have this understanding and value of people from other places and what a richness that brings. Some people are frightened of difference, but I think both Rebecca and I kind of love difference.
Yeah,
It's exciting.
and sometimes it takes somebody like yourself who has traveled to bring that upon others who may have never seen anywhere other than their backyard.
Yeah.
And so you would say that if you ever get a chance to travel, it's a good thing, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. So now, Peace Day, it wasn't always Peace Day, it was something else.
Yes, well, we started Peace Day Laguna Woods celebrating the United Nations International Day of Peace on the 21st of September. And this year happens to be the 40th anniversary of Peace Day.
Okay.
And it's interesting that the UN gives a theme to each year's Peace Day. And this year the theme was End Racism, Build Peace. And this played into some incidents that had happened in our community earlier this year.
Yes.
Incidents that certainly fired up the community bridge builders. So there was a real connection. Now, as concerned citizens, which makes arrangements with clubs to do something on different days, the date I was given this year to do something for Peace Day happened to be the 15th, which was Greenpeace Day. So I thought, oh, wait a minute. Greenpeace Day could build a Peace Week.
That's
so
great.
And it could conclude on Peace Day itself. Okay. So that's what we're doing, and Peace Day will be the end of our first Laguna Woods Peace Week.
Okay. Now we do have, of course that started yesterday.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what we do have for next week is there's an event that's happening on Wednesday.
Absolutely.
So let's take a look at that information. And you guys are going to be United Nations International Day of Peace.
Yes.
Wednesday, September 21st. So tell me what's going to happen that day.
We'll have a proclamation, a mayoral proclamation that will celebrate all the activities that have happened during Peace Week, but everywhere where Peace Day is celebrated, at the UN on Peace Day at noon, the Secretary General comes out and rings the peace bell at noon, and then there's a moment of silence. And all across the world, people are asked to take a moment of silence at noon. So church bells are going to be ringing here in our community, and at noon, Rabbi Joe Mendelson is going to lead our moment of silence and say some prayers. So that will be the beginning of our event. Is joining with what's happening all over the world,
right?
And then what's happening all over our community.
Okay.
And then next thing that's going to happen, and then there's going to be some singing and some sharings that will happen there.
Okay.
And the last thing that we're going to do, which is new, is we're going to present the Margaret Perlman Peace Prize.
Oh, nice.
Margaret Perlman was a member of Laguna Woods and longtime resident and longtime activist, peace activist with concerned citizens. And she was my inspiration to get involved with concerned citizens. She died last year at the age of 101.
Holy smokes.
She spent a long time celebrating peace. That was her big baby.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Now, of course, this correlates with the organization that you are working on. And of course, you have to have a minimum amount of people to be able to doing a club.
Yes, yeah.
So let's go over what your organization is. Community Bridge Builders. In a nutshell, what is it?
We're building the community. What is happening is when we think about Laguna Woods Village, we are very diverse, but yet we keep to those that we know. those that we think we are more comfortable with, instead of challenging ourselves in getting to know what we don't know. And we were talking earlier that all it takes is a little bit of curiosity in order to start asking, who are you? Let me tell you who I am. And even though we might not look different, sound different, have different accents, different experiences, it is so worthwhile getting to know each other. Laguna Woods is really a paradise. And yet we are missing that little piece of getting to know you.
Right. Well, it seems like more and more people that I've experienced talking to in this regard is that they're opening up a little bit more. Now, of course, we did talk about how COVID kept everybody pretty much locked in, and that's very difficult. A lot of people are still a little nervous about getting out there, but it seems as though more and more people now are coming together and a little more open to what you're talking about. Would you find that to be the case?
Yes. But talking about peace, I keep thinking the last days, what is really peace? Is it only the absence of a war? And the truth is that it's much more beyond that. Peace is being in a happy place. Peace is going to sleep without thinking, are there bombs going to be falling, or do I have something to eat tomorrow? Right. And even if you don't have enough money to buy a new car, being in Laguna Woods is peaceful. And if you don't have everything that you would like to have, you have a foundation, you have neighbors, you have Lisa with the television. It is such
I hope I can bring you peace.
You do. So maybe this is what peace is, happiness and being able to sleep well.
That's a good point, you know, and some people have lost loved ones and it's hard for them to be at peace in that kind of circumstance. And like you said, there's tons of resources here for everyone regarding of what they're going through.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can go, there's all this greenery, there's beautiful, you know, you can walk in the park, you can watch herons landing in the creek. It's so amazing. You know, it's all here.
And that's why people move here. So I'm sure we're obviously speaking to the choir here because everybody already lives there, so they know. But they can always tell their friends the same thing. So Latifah, let's just show the flyer one more time because I know you wanted to talk to us a little bit about a Facebook group that you have.
Oh, it is ThisDay Laguna Woods, and we started it back in 2019, I believe, when we were beginning to build a community celebration of Peace Day, or 2020, I guess that was it.
Okay.
And we wanted to have, so I reached out to different clubs, like the Japanese club, the Korean club, the Vietnamese. When we put a peace pole up, and a peace pole has "May peace prevail on earth" in different languages. So I went to the community center and I asked, what are the languages spoken here? And so they told me, and those are the languages that are on that peace pole. And then I reached out to the clubs who speak those languages and asked them to share their thoughts about peace, their traditions about peace, what it means to them in their country, on this Facebook group, and to start a dialogue, even remotely, because COVID hit right away too. We were also limited.
So if somebody was on Facebook and they wanted to look that up, what would they look up?
Peace Day Laguna Woods.
Peace Day Laguna Woods. Okay, perfect. So they can just type that in usually.
Yes, and then you have to ask to become a member, but right away we'll accept you if you live here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect. And then for you, how do they get in touch with you regarding the community bridge builders?
Well, since we're almost a club, but not yet a club, they would have to use my personal email until we become a club. May I give you my
please do that.
Rebecca with one C, Gilad @gmail.com.
Perfect. And they have that on the screen so everybody can email.
Let me just say one thing that I missed. We're not a political group. You can have different...
Neither one.
No, right, neither. So you can think one way politically or another way politically. All we want to do is to get to know each other and share.
As long as you're a human, you can participate. Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate the information. Good luck and
thank you.
Happy peace for the week.
Thank you, and happy Peace Day to you too.
Thank you.
God bless.
Happy week.
Yes.
And as we mentioned, you can always go to the Facebook page for the Peace Week, and that's Peace Week Laguna Woods, or you can get in touch with Rebecca, and that's Rebecca Galad at her email, gmail.com. We'll be right back.
Claire Trevor School of the Arts is UC Irvine's creative laboratory. From the most traditional of art forms to the radically new, we explore and develop the arts as the essence of human experience and expression. We're poised right now at a pivotal moment, as Trevor School is just emerging in its newest form. We have a brilliant future, and we're just getting started.
Diane's Hallmark in Laguna Niguel is now an Elam's Hallmark, and we are excited to be part of your community. We have just remodeled, and you will be surprised by the wide variety of fashion and accessories, home decor, collectibles, Disney, Peanuts, Harry Potter, and Star Wars, along with the largest Hallmark card selection in town. Stop in today and sign up for our Crown Rewards program and get a free Just Because card. Once a member, you can get a free card once a month. Elam's Hallmark, your neighborhood gift store.
Your first day of retirement. What will you wake up to? Freedom? Time? Adventure? Your ideal retirement doesn't just have to come alive in your dreams. Awaken to your new reality. Awaken your spirit, your vision. It's not a dream. It's your next chapter, your future, and it's in reach. Next generation retirement doesn't happen by accident. Plan for your bright future. Awaken to what's possible.
Who is RadNet? You've probably heard our name and seen our commercials, but you still might not know who we are. RadNet is the largest provider of outpatient imaging services in the United States, with over 8,000 employees and almost 400 imaging centers in 7 states. Likely, if you have had diagnostic imaging, you have experienced RadNet's high-quality, cost-effective imaging services. With 35 years of expertise, RadNet is leading into the future with advanced technology and the very latest AI technology. We are positioned for the future of healthcare. RadNet, leading radiology forward.
Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Doug Phillips, who is a patient of RadNet, and he had the Tulsa procedure. Well, welcome, Doug. How are you today?
Doing great. How are you doing?
Very good. And I'm really happy that we got to talk with you. We've talked to Paul Colacchio before, and evidently you are the first patient of RadNet that's been interviewed here. So I love it in regards to, of course, the Tulsa procedure. But before we really get talking about the procedure and diagnosis, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 69 years old. When I had the procedure, it was a few months ago, I was 68. I'm an executive at a outdoor furniture business. And I was diagnosed with first stage prostate cancer earlier at the end of last year.
The end of last year.
Yeah.
Would you say you're a pretty active person?
Yes, very active.
Okay.
I exercise regularly and
Okay.
travel and.
Okay. And you know, I ask that because I think a lot of people think, oh, it's not going to happen to me, right? I mean, we're very active. We do lots of things. We watch our, food intake and all these other things, yet you can still be diagnosed with something like this. So that's why I wanted to know what your background was. And you said you were diagnosed late last year.
Yes.
How did you feel when it's stage 1? So thank goodness it was caught at that particular time.
Right. Yeah, I didn't feel anything. It was just the concern about my PSA level fluctuating in a way that my GP didn't like. Mm-hmm. So he sent me to a urologist who kind of looked after me for a couple months and decided that we should do a prostate MRI, which I did. and that showed that I had a couple small spots. And then they did a biopsy on those, and that's when it became apparent that it was malignant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it shocking to you?
Well, not 100% because I have a family history of prostate cancer.
Okay.
So I've been monitoring my PSA levels for quite a while. And so it wasn't an utter shock.
So when you found out, and then obviously there were next steps that you went through in deciding on whether or not to go through with the procedures and things like that, how did that process go?
Well, my urologist told me, the different options. One was to have the prostate removed. And then the other would be to just kind of monitor it and watch it over time. And then he mentioned to me that there's a relatively new procedure called the Tulsa procedure, which in my case could just pinpoint the exact spots, and they call it ablation. And it's called transurethral ablation. So they go in and they ablate or burn the spots away.
Right.
And I was very happy to hear that it could be a partial ablation, that they didn't have to ablate the entire prostate gland.
Okay.
Which was also an option. But
Oh,
in
wow.
my case, they recommended just the partial ablation and then to watch it. So I was very pleased to know that there was a less invasive alternative.
And then you were out for that procedure?
Yes, you're
Okay.
put under anesthesia for the procedure.
Okay. And then what was your recovery like?
It was very fast. It was an outpatient procedure. I went home the same day. I had to wear a catheter for approximately 10 days, which wasn't that bad. And then I went back to the urologist. They took out the catheter, and that was the end. Now they just monitor my PSA level, and then a year from the procedure, I'll have another MRI, and then they'll see that how everything's looking. But normally the prognosis is very good with this procedure. They don't see recurrence, especially when you catch it in the early stages. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Exactly. Now, you mentioned you were probably laid up for about 10 days because you had the catheter. So immediately after the catheter was removed, were you able to resume all of your normal activities?
Actually, I wasn't laid up at all because with the catheter, you can walk around and they give you the kind that you can be mobile with. So I just was back to work the next day.
Wow.
Yeah, there was no recovery at all.
Wow.
Yeah,
No,
I just had to
isn't
take some pills.
Right. Isn't it great though? I mean, I think technology has really made so many strides, and we're certainly benefiting from that right now with, especially since you were diagnosed at an early stage, which I know the Tulsa you can only use, I believe, at early stages. You can't use it once you're past a certain stage. So thank goodness you guys caught it. You were obviously aware that you had it in your family. So, good for you and your doctor to be able to get to it right away.
Exactly.
That is awesome. So now, would you recommend other people look into this if they're also in the same situation?
Oh, absolutely, because it's the least invasive procedure you can have. And, as opposed to surgery, which is, the removal of the gland. And then that has all kinds of side effects. When you have this procedure, you can resume a normal sex life. You don't have urinary issues that often happen after surgery. So I would highly recommend it.
That is awesome. Well, congratulations to you.
Thank
And
you.
good luck on the rest of the year until next year. We're hoping that it still maintains a negative aspect.
I agree. Thank you very much.
All right, Doug, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And if you want more information about the TOSA procedure or any of the procedures or treatments that RadNet has, you can always go to radnet.com. We'll be right back.
Parkinson's disease is a neurological movement disorder affecting an estimated 1 million Americans, including many under age 40. The American Parkinson Disease Association is the largest grassroots network in the United States, working to help ease the burden and find the cure for those coping with Parkinson's. Visit apdaoptimism.org today to find out how you can help millions live with dignity and optimism. Your action today will help APDA put an end to Parkinson's disease.
As part of our Friday films, you can check out our movie for today, and it is called Dreams of Sushi. Very different. Japanese sushi chef Yuro Ono's 10-seat restaurant located in a Tokyo subway station attracts visitors from around the globe. And that is at 2 p.m. with subtitles, 6 p.m. without, and that is brought to you by City of Hope. So enjoy that. Now, just a couple of announcements. Today is the day that you can be an actor, actress, singer, dancer, whatever kind of performance you would like, because there are going to be auditions today. And that will be at 1 o'clock to 5 p.m. in Clubhouse 7. If you want any information before you go to ocoldpros@gmail.com. And then we've got a couple of other announcements. There's a couple of other activities that are happening. Take a look here. We've got the Linda Ronstadt revival. That is going to be a performance on Saturday at 7 p.m. at the Performing Arts Center. Tickets are $20, $25, and $30, depending on where you sit. Tickets.lagunawoodsvillage.com. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our weather before we head out. As I mentioned earlier in our broadcast, looking quite pleasant. We are only looking at the upper 70s, low 80s. We don't have any of that horrible heat. 78, 68, 77, 67, 76, 64, 76, 71 with some humidity, and 83, 62. If you are traveling, numbers look really good. We've got local beaches, 73, 65, San Diego, 73, 66, Santa Barbara, 70, 57, Tahoe, 60, 35, Big Bear, 65, 35, Mammoth, 63, 30, and Palm Springs, 91, 68, and Las Vegas, 92, 68. So all temperatures are quite tolerable. Have a great day in the village. We will be back again tomorrow at 9 a.m. with another joke of the day. I know you can't wait. So we'll see you again tomorrow right here on Village Television at 9 a.m. Bye-bye.